Hey, it's Hot Rod here, and just doing the opener, I guess, for the questions thing. We're doing 10 questions basically, where the fans, the members of the forum get to ask me stuff, and I answer honestly, basically. So there's a kind of a meet and greet. I'm just doing a quick intro here, just so you can see my kind of work area, which is this is all my to-do list for reviews, including this guy. And this is really it, because I do it all for this forum. And there's a headless 6-shot there. He's not headless, his head's in the canopy, he just makes a really good tripod. Multifunctional. This is his hidden 8th mode tripod. So we'll get on with the questions. Obviously, by beyond the obvious there, Transfan means Hot Rod or Rodimus Prime. Who do I think should be made into a masterpiece? I think there's a few characters I'd like to see made into masterpiece. The Springer would be one, Blitzwing would be another. I'm kind of tired of seeing repaints in the masterpiece line, especially when they cost so much money. Right, as far as the one I'd like to see the most, I'd love to see like Galvatron. That'd be really cool. He doesn't need to be anything fancy in alt mode, he can just be the cannon. And I'd really like to see a masterpiece G2 Megatron, just because I really like that mold. I think that's a really cool design. I think there's a lot of potential for the tank to turn into the robot, and it'd be nice to have a big robot, because that figure basically is a masterpiece in size. It'd just be cool to see that. But I think I'd say Galvatron more than anything else. Galvatron. I think I don't really have a problem with the Bay movies. I mean, Transformers is a big silly franchise anyway, at least it was from what I grew up with. So I don't really have a problem with the Bay movies as such. I think they could have been a little bit better in the right hands, but I mean, the original Transformers the movie basically it was all kind of sweeping mad angles and sunset style colours, so only two people could have pulled it off. I think that would be either Bay or Tony Scott. I think Tony Scott's probably, I don't know, he's not as out there in the wacky kind of let's blow stuff up stakes as Michael Bay. I think as far as the perfect Transformers movie goes, I think the first one was perfect for me. I think it was Michael Bay's best movie, because it was just kind of cool. It was kind of fun and big and a bit daft, and which like Transformers is, because it's about cars that turn into big robots. The only kind of problem I guess I would have had with it was that the Transformers were they weren't really the stars of the movie, you know. But I could kind of understand from another perspective is that DreamWorks want to maximise their kind of impact, so they wanted to have the human factor in there for people to relate to, because you know people can't relate to a robot, although they've been doing it with Star Wars and Star Wars for years. But I thought the first one was very good. It kind of captured that feeling of wonderment, and it reminded me a little bit of Spielberg's earlier movies, and maybe not like as early as Jaws, but certainly kind of the magic and kind of wonder kind of vibe you got off E.T. and Close Encounters. I kind of got that feeling of it, not to that caliber, and I'll probably get all sorts of comments about it when this goes up on YouTube, but I don't know. I did like the first one an awful lot. The second one was very flawed. It needs an awful lot of work to make that a good movie, a good, concise, solid movie. But I don't really have a problem with them. I like the designs, and I like the fight scenes and stuff like that. I thought the voice casting was perfect. except for, you know, you can't get Scatman Crothers to be jazz. So, but yeah, I do like it. My perfect one was the first one, more or less. The second one was disappointing because the first one was so good. As far as GoBots, it's a crazy question. Crazy. Bad. GoBots are bad. Ooh. I don't really care, to be honest. I think it would be pretty kind of ignorant to assume that, or to make a statement like Transformers was the first robots turning into things, because it wasn't it was Diaclone in the 70s. I'm pretty sure there was probably stuff before that. So I think GoBots is a bit of fun. It was the 80s, everything was ripped off of something else. Jason the Wheel Warriors was Star Wars. So GoBots is just a bit of crack. I always liked Psykill. I always thought that was a neat design. And then he showed up. He showed up in All Hell Megatron, or not All Hell Megatron, Megatron Origins, which was cool. Great design. Jay had him a while ago. I meant to buy him and then I didn't, and someone else did. And now I'm sad. But I think it's fun. I really like the Porsche, where the place where the people sit is the head. That's pretty cool. That's interesting. If you get two people in there, they'd look like eyes. GoBot goodness. Eyes. Made of people. Ultra Steel has asked me a question that he asks me pretty much on a daily basis in work. And I'm kind of sick and tired of going through it with you. But I'll go through it anyway because I like it. And you feel that like inside you, like a warm kitten. Combiners, which are the best? Well, my favourite is, and I'll have to reach forward here into the camera if you will. My favourite of the combiner molds is this guy. Although this is the RID colours, the American ones. This is basically Bruticus but his Ruination. I love this guy. In my experience of G1 combiners, this guy's the most sturdy, and he's probably the best looking too. Looks like you could take a punch and give him. I'm going to put him back down. As far as the best ones go, I love these guys. I love the Micromaster combiners, which I have a few of in different kind of variations. I've got two originals, and then I've got these repaints. This is Six Builder as Devastator, and Superion, who I think was Six Wing. I'm not sure, I didn't do research for it. But I love these guys. I think these are the best because they're way more sturdy and reliable. In general, they hold their balance a lot better, and there's no wear and tear on joints. There's 6 Turbo. Got 6 Train up there as well. But these guys are my favourite. This one's my favourite of them all because it's Devastator colours. I just think these guys are great because you can do some posing and stuff, and you can actually turn heads and stuff like that. The G1 ones aren't terribly reliable as far as the bigger guys go, the more original ones, not the Micromaster ones. I had Predaking, and I think it was because of the amount of die-cast metal. I don't know if the original one had die-cast, but the re-release that I had die-cast, and it put an awful amount of strain on the joints, because you get the robot like that and a bracket that comes out, and that clips into the main body of the leader, and the die-cast metal would just stress that like there was bends going into the plastic. But I think Bruticus is the best one. Stephen will still turn around, Ultra Steel will still turn around on Monday and go, I think I want to get Devastator. Go get Devastator, sir. If that's what you want, get Devastator. Superion's crap. If you buy Superion, I'm not going to be your friend anymore. I'm not kidding. So Ready to Rumble is asking that eternal question which goes round and round and round and round and round. In my opinion, Rumble is purple, because the first time I saw Rumble was in the cartoon, and generally you kind of go with what's familiar to you the first time. I don't really care what the bio card says. I don't really care what the comic says. Rumble's the purple one and Frenzy is the red and black one.